Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hope your day and your weekend are going well so far. We've got a new day, which of course means a new NBA player prop video to share with you guys. We've got more round 2 NBA playoff action tonight with a couple of really good game 3s. We got Celtics Cavs game 3, Mavs Thunder game 3, and a nice 5-leg parlay to close out Swing for the Fences week. I don't know if that's what I was really calling. I didn't really come up with a name for this week. I didn't even plan for this week to go this way. I just, obviously Monday morning I was like, hey, I really want to do a really big parlay, and it just turned into a whole week of doing them. We haven't hit yet this week, including last night. We had an off night last night, but you guys have to understand these parlays that are like plus 1,500, plus 1,400, plus 12, the implied probability is less than 10%. They're very difficult to hit, but the beauty is if you hit one, you're basically set for a while. That's not opinion, that's literally science. If you were to lose these parlays 10 straight days, but you hit one of them, you're still profitable. That's the beauty of these kinds of parlay bets. But again, it's like chasing our white whale. It's really difficult, but if you do get it, if we do hit a parlay, man, that victory is oh so sweet. 5-leg parlay plus 1341 odds for today's video. Let's close out the week strong. Let's finally catch our white whale and cash this big time motherfucking parlay. But first, guys, as always, make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, drop a comment down below, all that good stuff. By the way, guys, I've been wearing this shirt a couple times now. I didn't shout it out. I should have. We got a lot of new stuff on the Fade Me store. There is a link in our description down below to check that out. This is the They Don't Boo Nobodies t-shirt. Let's see if you can get a look of this thing here. Pretty sick shirt that Ev came up with. I love it. Obviously, for all the guppies. But really cool summer vibes. They got it in black, white, bunch of different colors. So much cool stuff on the Fade Me store right now, including this shirt here. So go ahead and check that out. Again, link in the description below. All right, guys. No more time to waste. Let's dive into today's video. Switch right into the Outlier screen, guys. You don't know what Outlier is. They're the best sports betting tool on the market. There is a special link in our description below that gives you a 7-day free trial to check it out. Outlier, they sponsor my video series here, the NBA player prop video series. They sponsor almost all the videos here pretty much every video here on the channel is sponsored by Outlier. They're a great sponsor. They're a great sports betting tool. Truly the best sports betting tool. You got nothing to lose. You try it for 7 days. You don't like it, you cancel, but I guarantee you guys satisfaction guaranteed. So check it out. One more time, guys. Link down below for a 7-day free trial to check it out for yourself and make yourself a better sports bettor. All right, guys. First leg of our 5-leg parlay. A lot of these legs we're targeting this Thunder Mavericks game, 3:30 p.m. tip-off. I like a lot of the props here. Not so much that Celtics-Cavs game. I'm really scared betting those Celtics-Cavs props, but I do like a lot of the props here in Mavs Thunder. And like most of these props this week, a lot of these you can bet them straight up. I don't have too many alternate lines here. You can probably bet these straight up if you don't want to bet the whole parlay in its entirety. So here we go. Jalen Williams of the Oklahoma City Thunder over 17.5 points is the first leg of our 5-leg parlay. We're getting this from minus 185 on DraftKings. He has cashed this in 6 consecutive games. All the playoff games that he has played in thus far, all 4 games in the Pelicans series and both games so far in the Dallas series, he has cashed this over. But even if you stretch this data to his last 20 games, it's a 70% hit rate. 14 of his last 20 games, he has cashed the over, averaging 19.05 points per game over his last 20 games. So pretty solid data, even if you're going back to the end of the regular season. And on the year so far, including playoffs for Jalen Williams, a 62% hit rate, 48 out of 77 games played this season. He's cashed his over, averaging 19.19 points per game. Looking at the head-to-head data here, I'm ignoring these first 3 games you see in there. Those are all from last season. He's played the Dallas Mavericks 6 times this year, including the games 1 and 2 of this series. He's cashed the over in 4 out of 6 games versus the Dallas Mavericks this season. And even over his last 9 games, when you include some of those smaller games, he's averaging 16.22 points per game versus the Mavericks. But you look at the minutes played here, especially in the first 2 games of this Dallas series, he's playing big minutes, 35.5 minutes, 38.7 minutes. Big minutes played here for Jalen Williams. He's averaging 36 minutes a game over their last 5 playoff games, so the minutes look good. You look at the shot attempts, too, pretty good. He's averaging 16 shots a game, so pretty decent volume there in terms of the shots. He's taken at least 15 shots or more in every of the last 5 playoff games, and if we go a little bit further back to look at all of their playoff games, you'll see, so he's taking at least 15 shots in every playoff game. Really high volume there for Jalen Williams, which obviously is really good for the over. You see some of these games that he's hitting, he doesn't need to shoot crazy well. You see he's 40%, 41%, and guess what? Those equaled a couple of cashes. And just to show you guys the minutes here, this is a filter I put. This shows all the games this year where Jalen Williams has played between 33 and 39 minutes. All the games that fall in that range of minutes played, 33 to 39 minutes played, an 88% hit rate for Jalen Williams, 29 out of 33 games. You see here, those are all the playoff games right there, averaging 22.15 points per game. Again, you look at the playoffs, he's averaging 35.5 minutes in this data range. But if you go ahead and eliminate this filter, again, just looking at the last 5 playoff games, he's playing 34 minutes at least in each of the last 5 games. So really solid data range there. Really solid data for the first prop here. All right, guys, second leg of our 5-leg parlay. We're going to keep Bennett to the cows come home. Daniel Gafford over 12.5 points plus assists. We're getting this for -115 on DraftKings, but it is available everywhere. I know, again, I told you guys the last time I took this, I think whenever the last time I took the Mavericks bet there, I think it was in game 2. This isn't a Clippers series. You saw that Clippers series. It was really rough. He was playing against Ivica Zubac. They were one of the best defensive teams in the NBA versus the center position. Not the same story with OKC. Again, look at the right side of the screen here. The Thunder, bottom half of the league in points allowed and bottom 3 in assists allowed to opposing centers, although he's going to cash this in mostly points alone. But you see here, the first 2 games of this series, in his last 3 games, he has cashed this over. And overall in the season, just a 49% hit rate. Not terrible, but not great either. But more importantly, the head-to-head data here. He's now played the Oklahoma City Thunder, 4 times since being traded to Dallas. 2 playoff games, 2 regular season games. He's cashed the over all 4 times he's played them, averaging 17.75 points plus assists per game. Look, eventually the Thunder will probably slow him down a little bit, but it's a really solid matchup for him. PJ Washington, also another player who really benefits from Maxi Kleber being out, from the matchup and everything. So really solid prop here for Gafford. And just one more thing on this prop to show you guys is a filter that shows Daniel Gafford minutes played when he plays between 22 and 30 minutes per game this season. A 58% hit rate, 26 out of 45 games, averaging 14 points plus assists per game. Again, the head-to-head hit rate versus Dallas is 100% still, even with this filter on. You see here, he's done that. He's been in that minute range 3 times, including games 1 and 2. And over his last 20 games in this minute range, again, he's first 2 games of the series, he's played within this minute range. You see here a 70% hit rate over his last 20 games. So really solid data here for Gafford. All right, guys, third leg of our 5-leg parlay. We're going Luka Doncic over 28.5 points. We are getting this for -160 on DraftKings. So a slight alternate line here. He has cashed this in 7 of his last 10 games, averaging 29.5 points per game. He did not cash this in game 1 versus the Thunder, but he did just slightly, but he did cash it still in game 2. You look at the season total so far for Luka, a 74% hit rate on the season, 58 out of 78 games, including playoffs. He has cashed the over, averaging 33.29 points per game this season. Now you look at the head-to-head data, 5 out of 6 times this season versus, not just this season, this includes last season as well, apologies. He's played them 4 times, Jesus Christ. He's played the Thunder 4 damn times this season. He's cashed it 3 out of 4 times. That includes game 1 and game 2. Look at the 2 regular season matchups. December 2nd, he had 36 points. February 10th, he had 32 points. And again, in game 2, he cashed it. He did miss the mark in game 1. But even if you go back to last season, I know different team, different time, but he did cash it both times he played the Thunder last season. So like I said, a lot of green with this prop, and it's a solid matchup here. The Thunder, they are a pretty solid defensive team, but versus the shooting guard position, which is what Luka basically is. I know he really doesn't have a position, but if you had to quantify it, if you had to clarify what his position is, I'd say he's a shooting guard. Quantify makes no fucking sense there. But they are bottom 10 in points allowed to opposing shooting guards, and that's, again, if I had to put where his position is, I'd say he's a shooting guard, if anything, and they give up 28 points per game to opposing shooting guards. Again, bottom 10 in the NBA defensively. You have to excuse me, guys. Got a little weekend brain going on, so if I get a little tongue twisted, I mess up my words a little bit. Apologies for that. Fourth leg. Get together. Fourth leg of our 5-leg parlay, and the fourth and final prop of this game. We're going Kyrie Irving over 9.5 rebounds plus assists. We're getting this for -130 odds on DraftKings. He has cashed this in 7 of his last 10 games, including a massive cash in game 2. He did have 11 assists, so he covered adjusted assists alone. He did miss the mark in game 1, but overall, you see the data is pretty solid here for Kyrie. On the year so far, including playoffs, a 55% hit rate for Kyrie, 36 out of 66 games, averaging 10.14 rebounds plus assists per game. And the head-to-head data is pretty strong. You see 3 of the last 4 times he's faced off with the Thunder. Again, all 4 times being this season. He's cashed the over, averaging 12 rebounds plus assists. The only game he didn't was that game 1. That kind of seems to be the trend. You saw Luka was the same thing. Consistent cashes, but game 1, just a bad game. I think for the Mavericks, all across the board was a bad game in game 1. But for the most part, he cashes this pretty consistently versus the Thunder. Defensively versus point guards, they're bottom 10 in rebounds allowed, giving up 6.2 rebounds per game. They're top 10 in assists allowed, only giving up 8.3 assists per game. But still, again, he's cashed it pretty consistently and pretty high marks too versus the Thunder this year. All right, guys, switching over to the Celtics-Cavs game. Guys, comment 10 down below if you made it this far into the video. As always, I appreciate you guys watching this far into it. You guys are the best. I love this community, Guy Boston Sports. It really is fantastic. As always, the link for these picks for this parlay will be in the description below. Appreciate you guys all week long with this swing for the fence this week. Let me know if you guys liked it. Again, I know we haven't hit yet. Hopefully today's the day. But if you like stuff like this, if you want me to do more themes and like weeks and days and certain things, go ahead and sound off if you like stuff like this. I have seen for the most part people seem to like the fact that we're doing these bigger swing parlays. I won't do these all the time because, again, the hit rate's really low. And I'll probably lose all my subscribers if I keep doing these every single day. But I do like doing stuff like this and different themes and different ideas for the video. So if you guys shout off in the comments what you guys think of things like that. And last thing before we finish out this parlay and finish out this video, I've been talking about it all week. I've got my charity golf tournament coming up on May 26th. If you guys like to get involved, all the proceeds go to the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute. I am running a 50-50 raffle ticket entry. It's $10 per ticket. You can buy as many tickets as you like. If you don't know how a 50-50 raffle works, 50% of the proceeds go to charity, and 50% goes to potentially you, the winner. Whoever wins receives half the pot. Again, $10 ticket. You can buy as many. You can buy 100 tickets if you want. That's up to you. But yeah, I'm running until May 26th. 4 p.m. is the deadline on May 26th. Again, goes to a great cause. Helps me out run my tournament. Helps out with the charity. It's a great thing and a chance for you guys to win some extra cash. So that link will also be down. A lot of links are in the description. That one will also be down below. So here we go, guys. Fifth and final leg of today's parlay. Again, we're now going over to Celtics-Cavs, Game 3, 8:30 p.m. tip-off. We're going Evan Mobley over 17.5 points plus assists. Again, it's for minus 135 odds on DraftKings. And again, guys, what we like to see here, there's a lot of green for this prop. You see 6 of his last 10 games, he has cashed the over. He did struggle a little bit towards the end of that Orlando series, but in first Game 1 and in Game 2 of the Celtics series, he has cashed the over pretty convincingly. So far this year, including playoffs, a 61% hit rate, 36 out of 59 games he has cashed the over, averaging 18.44 points plus assists per game. And look at the head-to-head data here. For the last 7 times he's played the Celtics dating back to last season, he has cashed the over. So far this year, he's played them just 3 times. That includes Game 1 and Game 2. He's cashed in 2 out of 3. I just don't think Al Horford, I don't think the Celtics without Porzingis can keep up with Mobley. I mean, he played incredible in Game 2. I don't know if you're going to get that again. If you go ahead and look at the shooting splits for him in Game 2, he shot 9 for, he shot 9 for 15, 60%. That's not typical of what Evan Mobley does. Like, him taking that many shots and shooting that high of a percentage is not too typical, I guess, versus the Celtics. He tends to do a little bit better. But if you look at the season as a whole, you look at his field goal attempts, he only takes about 11 shots a game. He only makes about 6. So he took a lot more shots than what his season average is. And you can see, the ups and downs throughout the year. He's not really an offensive guy, but versus the Celtics these first 2 games, he's been really good. I think that continues. I think a lot of that has to do with the matchup. Obviously, Jarrett Allen being out gives him a little bit more freedom down low. But I do think a lot of that has to do with the matchup. I think Al Horford, at this point in his career, I love him. He's a great player. He's been a great player. I just don't think he can defensively hang with people like Evan Mobley here. And so I like Mobley here to cash again, over 17.5 points plus assists. Again, you see solid green across the board for the most part. And I know on the season the Celtics were a good defensive team, but again, no Porzingis. It makes a big, big difference. All right, guys, so there we go. There is our 5-leg parlay for today's video. Real quick run through. Luka Doncic over 28.5 points. Jalen Williams over 17.5 points. Kyrie Irving over 9.5 rebounds plus assists. Daniel Gafford over 12.5 points plus assists. And Evan Mobley over 17.5 points plus assists. Again, you parlay all of those together, and you get a parlay of plus 1341 odds. And one more time, guys, that screen that you just took, I just showed you guys, That is what shows up when you click the picks link down below. It'll take you to that page, and all you got to do is click the add to bet slip, and it should take you right to DraftKings, and you can go ahead and input that into your sportsbook. Make sports betting a heck of a lot easier. Guys, that is it for me today. Thank you very much, as always, for watching. One more time, hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and drop a comment down below. Guys, until next time, I hope we're all winners. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you later.